My name's Shell. Welcome to my channel where I'm documenting my weight loss using the new 2025 Weight Watchers plan. It's new because they've added some more 0 point foods. Last week when I came on, I said that I was going to test the plan out for a first week, that I was going to eat all the points available and see what happened. And I did intend to do that, but that's not what happened, and I'll tell you all about that as we go along. Firstly, I am really enjoying the Weight Watchers plan. I think it suits me down to the ground. I think there are enough things that I can eat, that things that are unlimited, I'm quite happy to eat a lot of. I think when I was doing Slimming World, I think eating the rice and the pasta as much as you want, I struggle to restrict those sorts of things. And also, when there's things that are free, that are like sausages and different burgers and all these other things, I get panicked because I'd eat a meal where I might have, I don't know, like a big pasta meal with sausages and all sorts of different things, and I get panicked that I'm eating too much, and I can't seem to decide how much of the 3 point foods to eat. I mean, I think it's because I've got such a big appetite. I mean, things like the Linda McCartney sausages, I mean, I could just cook up 6 sausages and eat them as a snack, let alone as a meal, which obviously you're not supposed to do, but I find it very difficult to find out the level of what to eat. But I find with the Weight Watchers plan, with it being oats that are free, I mean, I only tend to eat oats in the morning, and I did weigh them out, and I'm quite happy to have 40 grams of oats. And it's not something I really think about eating the rest of the day. And the potatoes, I've always been able to eat as much of potatoes as I want without putting weight on. It's not the same with rice and pasta for me. I know the people are different, but I've always had a big weight loss when I've eaten more potatoes than I have done other things. So in that way, it has worked out well for me. All the other things that you have to count anything that's like burgers or sausages or anything else like that, you have to count them. And so that is working well for me. It puts a restriction on the things that I want to eat. So how the plan works for me, I have 23 points a day to eat, and then 21 points that I can eat during the week. I can either eat them a bit at a time or save them up for all one meal. Also, when I'm doing exercises, I get an extra point. The exercises I do is walk on the treadmill. And for every half hour I walk on the treadmill, I get an extra point, which adds onto my weeklies. So, to start off with, I'll tell you the sorts of things I've been eating on the plan. Every morning I've had 40 grams of oats, because I am the sort of person that will eat the same thing for 2 or 3 weeks and then I'll get sick of it, change it to something else and then eat that for 2 or 3 weeks. I don't need something different every day. So every morning I've had 40 grams of oats and fruit, whether that's been porridge with bananas in, or porridge with raspberries in, or dry oats with an apple, or dry oats with mango. That's what I've had every morning, which is a no point breakfast. Then for dinner, every day this week I've had a Warburton's wholemeal pitta. Well, actually no, it wasn't every day. Every day bar one I had a wholemeal pitta, which is 4 points. And with it I had either I stuffed it full of salad, or one day I stuffed it full of carrot, and I like grated carrot and apple. Another day I made a no point soup out of vegetables and potatoes. So I had a big bowl of soup with the pita bread, and I had that for a couple of days. One day I decided to have a thin, one of the Warburton's thins, because I thought, well, it'll only be half the points. I didn't look before, but it's not, it's only 3 points, whereas the Warburton's pitta is 4. I thought it'd be 2 because it's only half the size, but obviously it must be because those thins are only called brown. They're not wholemeal, they're just called brown, whereas the pittas are wholemeal, so that must be why there's a difference. So I won't do that again, I don't think. I mean, I would rather have half a wholemeal pitta which is the same size as a thin, for only 2 points. So that was a lesson learned. So that's what I have for my dinner every day, which is 4 points. And then I worked out every evening I had 6 points for treats. That would either be a small glass of wine and 2 squares of, I like the Nomo salted caramel chocolate, so 2 squares of chocolate and a small glass of wine, or maybe only half a small glass of wine and 4 pieces of chocolate, or a little Oggs fairy cake thing, which I think were 4 points. So I mixed it up and had a treat for 6 points at night. So that with that and the pitta, that's 10 points gone. After tea every night I had a hot chocolate, which works out 3 points, because unfortunately I've still got 6 cartons of the my favourite plant-based milk is the Rude Health coconut milk. That's my absolute favourite. But unfortunately for 150 mils it's 3 points, obviously, because it's got, you know, coconut, quite fatty. In the future I'll be able to go back to my, I like the Alpro Soy Light. I can't remember how many points that is, but it's only 1 or 2. So I can cut down points there as well. So I had that every day, and the cocoa powder that I used to make the hot chocolate, I only used 3 grams and that's free. Anything over 3 grams it becomes pointed, but for 3 grams it's free. And that's all I need in the hot chocolate, it's all I have anyway. So that's 13 points I'm up to. So the other 10 points I had for tea. And I mixed it up a bit every day. One day I had baked potatoes and burger and beans. Another day I had baked potato. Well, another day I was going to have baked potato, mushy peas and sausages, because I thought, well, the mushy peas will be free, because I thought it said that beans, peas and lentils were all free. And I was just about to open the tin and I thought, I'll just check just to make sure, like you do. And no, the mushy peas aren't free at all. They're around about 4 points a tin, which I was surprised at. I just assumed that they would be free, but they're not. So I didn't have the points then to go for that, so I had to have something else. But I mixed it up. Other days, what else did I have? Oh, one day I made a curry. That was nice. I think the sauce was about 5 points, but I was quite happy to do that because it was butter beans and vegetables in the curry. I had that with rice. Rice is quite highly pointed though. It's 7 points for 150 grams, which is what I would normally have. And I couldn't really afford to do that once I got the curry on the go. So I ended up mixing, I've seen somebody else do this, I ended up mixing 75 grams of rice with one of those frozen bags of cauliflower rice, and I cooked it and mixed the two together. And it was really nice actually. You could hardly tell that once you got the curry on and everything, you could hardly tell that it wasn't all rice. So that was a good way of cutting points down. And another night, last night, I made a chickpea tomato thing, like an Italian tomato thing with chickpeas, and that was completely free of points. And had that over pasta, and the pasta's a lot lower because for 150 grams of pasta it's only 5 points, so that's pretty good. And that made it a very low point meal really. I had some points left over last night. So this is all going fine, and I can't think of anything else to tell you that I've been eating. That's pretty much it. And it was going great, and then Saturday morning I usually weigh, because I weigh on a Tuesday and I normally have a weigh on a Saturday just to see how things are going. Now I put the scales on the kitchen floor, and our kitchen floor is tiled. It's very old tiles because it's a very old house, and I put the scales on if I got on, and it weighed me at 11 stone 3, meaning I put on half a pound. I was really upset. I couldn't understand it. I thought, this is awful. And I got off the scales, on and off the scales, and it kept saying the same thing, that I was 11.3. And I thought, well, this is... And I hadn't used any of my weekly points at all. And by the time it got to yesterday, it still said I was weighing at 11.1, I think. So I thought I hadn't lost very well, 11.1.5. And I was quite upset about it. And I was a bit cursing the plan, because I thought, right, well, I did say that I would eat all the points available to me this week to see how it had gone. But I thought I can't eat all these extra points now because there's no way I'm going to lose if I eat the extra points. So I was a bit deflated. And I'd accrued quite a lot of points because I hadn't eaten any of the 21. And I'd accrued, I think it was 11 points through exercise, which I hadn't used. I'd stuck that on. And I had a couple left over. But anyway, I had 34 points left over. And I had planned, as I was going to do, to use a lot of those points in a meal yesterday to have a nice meal of something special, something, sort of not dietary. But when it came to that, I just took fright and I thought, no, I can't do it. I'm not going to be able to eat these points, so I didn't. I left it. I got cold feet and I thought, no, I desperately want the weight loss, so I'm not going to eat them. And I didn't. And so I thought, well, I'm going to make this plan work, no matter what it takes. This is what I'm going to do for this entire year, and if I'm not going to lose by eating the extra weeklies, then I won't do it. So I didn't. So come today, I brought the scales back in here where I had them last week and put them on this board where I had them last week, and let's have a look, see what the result is now. Right. I believe I've got to wait for
The
these.
device is ready for use.
Right, scales are ready for use. So,
10 stone, 11 and 3/4 pound.
so 10 stone, 11 and 3/4 pounds, which is 12, 13, 14. It's pretty much a £5 loss. So, that's right, isn't it? 11, 12, 13, 14, 1, 2. Yeah. I was 11, 2 and a half last week. So it's pretty much a £5 loss. And I couldn't understand it. And I got on and off here. That's right. So I took them back into the kitchen, and because it must be that because the tiles are uneven, when I put them down on the kitchen tiles and move them about, they weigh me it gives me a different weight. All of it way over 11 stone. So it wasn't that the plan wasn't working, and it wasn't that I lost faith in it. It was just that the scales need to be on a flat surface, and so now I wish I'd eaten all those weekly points now, because I don't mind just losing £1. I'm happy to lose £1. I'd be quite content with that. So I thought I could have eaten all those. Anyway, you live and learn. So next week I think I am going to eat them all and see what happens. But as it goes, this week I have had a £5 loss, which I'm very pleased about. Obviously very pleased about, because I've been really worried about this all week. And I was thinking, what if I get on those scales and it says I put on £2, and I say to everybody, well, I haven't eaten all my points, and everybody's going to think, oh, well, you must have done to put weight on. I've been really worried about it. Oh, I feel so much better now, so relieved. But it's the start of a new points week now, so all those weekly points are gone. But this week I am going to try and eat all the points and see if I do lose. So the experiment starts again. But it's been a really good week, and I hope everybody else has had a good week. Let me know below how you're getting on. I know a lot of people are starting new plans. Some people haven't gone off their plans over Christmas at all. Jane and Annie, who carried on and lost all over Christmas. Annie actually reached her 5 stones award. Can you imagine that? 5 stones over Christmas. It's absolutely fantastic. She's so dedicated. And Jane carried on losing all through Christmas as well. So let me know how you did, what you've lost, how you've got on. I really would love to know, and what plans you're starting, if you're starting a new plan or if you're going back to one you've done before. Let me know, and I look forward to seeing you next week, and I hope you'll see less of me next week as well. Take care. Bye!